You once again stepped into the world of survival horror. Good luck. Alright, welcome back to Resident Evil 2. In this video, we're still kinda just searching for Sherry. So we're just gonna do a little bit of inventory management because we're getting ready for some stuff here. I don't know why. Well, I mean, I know why. But as soon as I finished playing this game, I was like, ooh, I really want to play Code Veronica right now. That might be coming down the pipe. I don't know. I've been wanting to play Code Veronica for a very long time.
Sherry, I've been looking everywhere for you. I was so worried. We've got to go now, honey, okay? If we stay here, that monster will find us. Let's go.
No, I won't.
What's the matter? Don't you trust me?
It's not that, Claire. It's because of my daddy. He's over there. I heard him call my name. Daddy must have been attacked by the monsters. I have to help him.
Wait, Sherry, don't go alone! Sherry! Sherry!
You know, gotta give credit where credit is due. The remake does do the Sherry Ada sections better. You can see that Sherry's got a little picture here of her family. That's cute. I like that little detail. It's like going back to Code Veronica when you play as Steve, you can look at that picture of his family. I like that. Nice little detail. But yeah, in this game, no matter what scenario you're doing, no matter who you're playing as, the Sherry and Ada sections take place in the same area, and you do basically the same things in each. Now, I don't know, maybe I'm weird, but I always feel more safe playing the Sherry and Ada sequences than I would like just the normal Claire or Leon scenarios, because you know, they don't really expect you to be able to do that much, so they give you a full heal, and they don't expect you to, you know, fight too much. I don't know if that makes sense. It makes sense to me. Like, if you were to go through this area as Claire or Leon, it would be a different story. But since you're playing as, you know, Sherry or Ada, they're not going to throw too much at you, so I never feel like I'm in any real significant danger, so I always feel safer playing these sequences than I would if I was still playing as Claire. Especially with a character like Sherry who has absolutely no, you know, she has no way to defend herself. And I will say her animations are fantastic. They really do make you feel like you're playing as a character who is, you know, significantly smaller than any of the other characters in the game. She has nice little animations, you know, like, I think we're about to see one here where she climbs up on the box. Now, I will say I like that animation because it's like, oh, she misses the first time. I think it's random when that animation plays because I've seen her just go up and not whiff the, you know, her leg placement sometimes, like she does there. But I feel like you almost always get the animation where she whiffs it the first time. So it takes a lot longer for Sherry to actually climb up things, so it can be kind of annoying, but I like the little detail that she whiffs it the first time. Maybe I'm wrong, but I swear she has a climbing animation where she doesn't whiff it. Like there, I guess, but that might be because that one wasn't as big as the other ones. I don't know. I do feel like the original Resident Evil, you know, PS1, that I played not too long ago, was filled to the brim with box-pushing puzzles. Whereas in this one, there really aren't many. There's like one towards the end of the game that can be kind of annoying, but really it's not that bad. It's just the Sherry and Ada sequences that I can think of where there's like an actual like box pushing. And that's really all we had to do with Sherry. We didn't even really need to go and get the other grenade rounds. But, I mean, why not? That's a little tip there. If you start mashing the A button before you even get on the elevator, it'll warp you out of there before you get on the elevator.
Claire! Are you there?
Sherry, are you okay? Did you find your dad?
Yes, I'm okay. But I couldn't find him. But I did find something else for you. Here! Here's another.
Thanks, sweetie. Now, why don't you come over here? I want you to stay with me.
Claire! I can't reach the ventilation hole anymore. But don't worry, I'll find another way. I can take care of myself.
Wait, Sherry, come back! Sherry! Sherry!
If I was Sherry, I simply would have just pushed one of those like roadblocks that we see on the right side of the screen up against the wall, climbed on that, and then climbed back in. Like, Claire could have even went up that little ramp there and held her hand out to give her a hand, but these characters just don't care. They don't want it enough, you know? Just very frustrating, very annoying. So, going back up this area, at this point, more dogs will have spawned in. So, I would say just try and ignore them. These dogs are very annoying to, or very easy to ignore. I almost said very ignoring to annoy, but I don't know what that means. It wouldn't have even been true. They're very easy to avoid. So, lickers have now populated the bottom, the basement here. I find that mashing the D-pad in a direction makes this thing make no noise whatsoever. But I don't know if that really gives you more of an advantage than just not holding the run button. This is why I brought all these grenade rounds, because there's a lot of stuff to shoot down here. Like, a lot. As soon as you get in this room, you just know, oh, all those zombies are gonna get up. Now, you could theoretically just get out of here without having to deal with anything, and in fact, in my practice, I did. But I made a bit of a misstep. I hit like a corner that I shouldn't have, and it just made it so that I basically had to take them all down. I had to compromise them to a permanent end. And this is one where I don't think this was as prevalent in the original game, but certain enemies are weaker to certain types of grenade round ammo. Also, I love this. It just makes it look like you're not even moving. If you can do it fast enough, her leg won't even do like the stanky leg, and it'll just look like she's gliding across the ground. Gliding across the ground. It's hard to say. It's like a tongue twister. Gliding across the ground. Gliding across the ground. This annoys me. I don't think you need to be this precise. You don't need to put it in there. I'm sorry. You should just be able to do it on the door. And be like, you use the card reader. So this is kind of a key area here. This is kind of an important little choice that we need to make here. In one of these lockers, I believe it's this one, you have two things you can pick up. You can pick up a machine gun or a side pack. We are going to pick up the machine gun and leave the side pack for Leon. This is one of the cool mechanics in this game, is the zapping mechanic, where between playthroughs, you have the A scenario and you have the B scenario, you know, no matter who you play as. And certain times you'll get two items in front of you, and you can be a jackass and take both of them, but that will leave nothing for the other character. So if Claire had taken both of those, Leon would be left with nothing. So, I think that's really cool. I think the zapping mechanic is neat, and that was something that I was hoping to see brought back into the, you know, the remake of this game, but a lot of things in this game, you know, were just kind of dropped, which is fine. But I feel like the zapping mechanic is such a, like, prevalent force in this game. It was like a selling point, almost, that I think it's weird that they didn't do it in the remake. They didn't even try and really do it. I can't think of a situation in that game where you take an item and then the other character doesn't get it. I might be misremembering, but I don't think that that's in there. Also, going back to Code Veronica, I played that on here already a couple years ago. I would love to do the Dreamcast version, because I have that. And there are some differences in the Dreamcast version to Code Veronica X. But I'd also like to play it in high quality, but I don't like the HD version. I think it looks worse. Like, the art style and stuff just looks worse. The lighting is weird. So, I don't know. If I were to go back and play it, I think I'd go and do the Dreamcast version. I'm also in a Dreamcast mood, you know, I just played Sonic Adventure 2 on there. I'd also love to do Shenmue, but I think my Shenmue disc is messed up. Just due to time, not due to any... There's like no cracks or scratches on it. The way that I have to play Shenmue with my Dreamcast is I have to turn the Dreamcast upside down. And that's the only way that that game will play. It's very bizarre. I think I'm just trying to combine ink ribbons at this point. I don't really need to save yet. It's not the end of the video. Well, we've already gotten a lot done, though. This is the point of the game, though, where... Well, first off, we're not going to be in the police station for very much longer. But also, when we are in the police station, brand new enemies have been in places that we've already cleared out. Like, there's going to be a lot of lickers in places where there used to be zombies. Which is obviously much more annoying. So we need to be very careful of that. I don't know what I was doing there. Oh, like Claire just randomly walked over to the right. At the point where I'm recording this, I think before... Like, the first 4 videos were before the next-gen updates of Resident Evil 2, 3, and 7 were released. But now it's after the fact. And, once again, Resident Evil 3 remake heads keep winning. Because 2 runs very badly when you do the ray tracing mode, whereas 3 doesn't run nearly as bad. So I've been having a lot of fun replaying that game, and, haven't really touched 2 besides like the first hour or so. Otherwise it makes my head hurt because the frame rate is like... I think it's like 45 frames per second when you use ray tracing, which doesn't look very good. So we were just picking up some stuff that we missed because our inventory was full the last time there. And like I said, playing this game has really made me realize, like, some of the downsides of... Or replaying this game has made me realize some of the downsides of the remake. Mostly story stuff. Stuff that, you know, that game plays immaculately. The story stuff is definitely worse in the remake, unfortunately. And that's the thing. I've seen people, you know, I'll defend Resident Evil 3 Remake till the day I die. It always seems to go that way. I'm always defending the ones that people don't like. Like, 5 is my favorite game, and 3 is really good too. 3 Remake is very good. And those are the ones that I'm always finding myself defending. It's like, oh, they cut so much out and they ruined the story in Resident Evil 3 Remake. They did the same in 2, bro. They did the same in 2. the stuff cut out of 3 isn't as, like, it's just the same as in 2. They cut stuff out of that. The story is all over the place and kind of wonky in that, and they kind of messed it up. It's not as cohesive. 3, I would say, tells a way more focused story than 2 Remake. And it's like, you really need to go to the clock tower? No. You don't really need to go there. The only one thing that I will say is that the game absolutely should not have ended in another nest. It should have ended at the dead factory. That's the one thing that I will concede. And also, yeah, the placement of you want stars, I'll give you stars is baffling, and I don't know why it's in the beginning of the game and not the end. Anyway, I keep saying I'm not going to talk about the remakes, and then I go on for like 5 minutes about the remakes. But we are basically just clearing things up in the police station right now. We're not going to be here for too much longer. This is a door that we have not yet accessed. The key that Sherry gave us is useless. We've unlocked every door that it could, which was basically just that one, like, bunk bed room. I find that the submachine gun works wonders on the Lickers. That's probably my favorite thing to use on them at this point in the game. Because the submachine gun isn't really too useful. I would say it's really only good as a Licker killer. But other than that, it doesn't really have many uses. I would even say maybe just pick up the side pouch. So just go 2, 3, 1. That's the solution to this puzzle. It's another one that's burned into my brain. That's another thing that there's such a iconic jump scare in this room. I always forget which scenario it's in, if it's in A or B, but that is most definitely in B. But every time I play the A scenario, I'm like, is it gonna happen here? Even though there's no reason it would. The thing that jumps through hasn't been set up in the A scenario, but that would be a cool little thing. Just like a randomizer, I guess. I think there's the arrange mode in this game, but I don't think it does stuff like that, which would be cool. Like, brings that particular enemy into the A scenario at random times. Would be neat, but I do not believe that is the case. I think it literally just puts key items in different places. Or actually, I don't even think that's true. I think it puts normal items in different places. It leaves the key items where they are because you could potentially soft lock yourself. So like I said, Lickers have now populated much of these areas that were previously either empty or filled with zombos. I think there's a one on the left side of this area too, or behind Claire as she was facing that door. But we didn't have to worry about that right now. Right now we're just gonna wrap things up. We have a piece of the puzzle that we need to get out of the police station as soon as possible. We'll be getting out of here soon enough, I think in the next video. So this was probably the last full video that will take place in the Raccoon Police Department. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.